My brother was a national executive of the Christian Democrat Party. He was president of the Sicilian region when in 1980 he was assassinated by the mafia because he was opposing their interests and their influence. This obviously, we were very close, is something which was a great blow for me. Because of this, but not only because of this, I've always been convinced that fighting the mafia is a central and a decisive issue. Civil awareness against the mafia has grown a great deal in Italy and in Sicily. We have achieved important results. Also thanks to the action of many Sicilians who acted against the mafia very bravely, many of whom were murdered. And I would like to recall that people who are greatly respected, like Giovanni Falcone or Paolo Borsellino, were Sicilians, as were many other members of the judiciary, members of the police forces, journalists, politicians, unionists, who fought bravely against the mafia and became victims of the mafia. But this action, this commitment, this bravery, these sacrifices led to a surge in public opinion against the mafia.
Mr. President, I'm sure it's hard to talk about this, but the way your brother was killed was brazen. I think they came up to his car and fired directly at him. And you were there at the very end. I believe he died in your arms. Can you tell me about that moment, that day?
Well, it's something I've never done, actually. He was in his car, and he was going to Mass with his wife and his children, and an assassin approached the car and shot him, despite the fact that the wife of my brother was trying to protect his head with her hands, and she was also wounded. I was immediately called by one of my nephews, and I went down straight away, and I took him to the hospital, but there was no chance of saving him. He was already dead. And this obviously is a memory which is very painful for me.